So the question says 12th root of 10 times 6th root of 640 times 4th root of 810 times square root of 40 is equals to 120. So we need to prove that left hand side is equals to right hand side without the use of a calculator. So how do we do this? So first we need to find the prime factors of each of this number that are inside all the root. Okay, so let's go and find the prime factor of 10 first, right? So what are the prime factors of 10? Prime factors of 10. 10 is an even number, right? So what are the divisors of even numbers? 2, 4, 6 and 8, right? So the smallest divisor of 10 is 2. If you divide 10 by 2, you get your answer as 5, correct? Now 5 is an odd number. So what is the smallest divisor of 5? It's 3, but it cannot be 3, right? Because 5 divided by 3 gives your answer with a remainder. Therefore your answer is 5, because 5 divided by 5 gives you 1. So you got a 1, you finally stop. So what are the prime factors of 10? The prime factors of 10 are 2 times 5. Now we need to go and look for the prime factors of 640. So we go and look for the prime factors of 640. 640, it's an even number. So it means that one of our divisors are either 2, 4, 6 or 8. But we need to look for the smallest divisor, right? So the smallest divisor is 2. So what is 640 divided by 2? 320. Again, 320 is an even number, so it is divisible by 2. So what is 320 divided by 2? The answer is 160, right? Again, 160 is an even number, so it is divisible by 2. So what is 160 divided by 2? That gives us 80. Again, 80 is an even number, so it is divisible by 2. So what is 80 divided by 2? That's 40, right? Again, 40 is an even number, so it's divisible by 2. What is 40 divided by 2? That gives us a 20. Again, 20 is even, so divided by 2 gives us a 10. 10 is even, divided by 2 gives us a 5. But finally, 5 is an odd number, so we can divide 5 by 5 and we get our answer as 1. So the prime factors for 640 are everything on the left side, right? So let's write the prime factors of 640. For 640 we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2's. 1, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 5. So these are the prime factors of 640. Let's look for the prime factors of 810. So the factors of 810 are, 810 is an even number, right? So it means it's divisible by 2. So if we divide 810 by 2, we get our answer as 405, right? Now 405 is an odd number, so it means it's divisible by 3. So what is 405 divided by 3? That gives us 135, right? 135 again is an odd number, so odd number is divisible by 3. So what is 135 divided by 3? That gives us 45. Now 45 is again, it is an odd number, so it means it's divisible by 3. What is 45 divided by 3? Gives us a 15. Again, 15 is an odd number, so what is 15 divisible by 3, right? So it gives us a 5. Now finally we got 5, so 5 is divisible by 5 and we remain with 1. So what are the factors of 810? Factors of 810 are 2 times how many 3's? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 3 times 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5. So these are the factors of 810. Now finally, let's go and find the factors of 40. So 40 is also an even number, right? So it means that it is divisible by 2. So if we divide 40 by 2, we remain with 20. 20 is again an even number, so we can divide by 2, we remain with 10. Again, 10 is an even number, we can divide by 2, we remain with 5. And 5 is an odd number, it cannot be divisible by 3, but it can be divisible by 5, so we remain with 1. Therefore, prime factors of 40 are 3, 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Now that we have our answer in terms of our prime factors, let's write them in the simplest form in terms of exponents. So we can see 10 is already in the simplest form, right? 2 times 5. But in terms of 640, I hope you guys remember from our exponent rules, if our base are the same, it means we simply add their powers, right? we simply add the exponents. So if you remember, if you have x times x, we can see our base are the same. So it means we simply add the power. If there is no power, there exists a invisible 1. So we simply add the 1 plus 1. The answer therefore is x to the power of 2. The same thing goes in terms of this. So here we can see that we got all the 2's, right? So 2, we have the same base, right? How many 2's we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can simply write 2 to the power of 7 times 5, because there is only one 5. Now in terms of 810, we only have 1 2. We write 2 as it is, times how many 3's we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we write 3 to the power of 4 times 5. Now in terms of 40, we have 2. How many 2's we got? 1, 2 and 3. 2 to the power of 3 times 5. Now that we have written them in terms of the power, let's go and write them back into their roots, right? So if we look at this, we know that 12 root was 2 and 5. So we got 2 to the power of 1 times 5 to the power of 1, correct? Times the 6th root of 640. But how did you write 640? We say 2 to the power of 7 times 5 to the power of 1, correct? Times, this is the 4th root. 4th root of what? 810. How did you write 810? We said 2 times 3 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 1. And finally, the square root of 40. How did you write square root of 40? We said 2 to the power of 3 times 5. So 2 to the power of 3 times 5. Now what do we do? So let me remind you guys, if you remember, if you have a square root of a, this is same as a to the power 1 over 2, right? Because this square root represent half, right? So if you have third root of a, that is same as a to the power 1 over 3, right? If you have 100 root of a, this is same as a to the power 1 over 100. You get the point, right? So let's write them in terms of this. So if we see here, we have the 12th root of 2 to the power of 1 times 5 to the power of 1. This 12th root belong to the 2 as well as 5, right? So let's write them. So we write 2 to the power 1 times, what did I say? 1 over 12, correct? Times 5 to the power 1 times 1 over 12, because we already have a 1 and we times with the root, right? Times 2 to the power 7 times 1 over 6 times 5 to the power 1 times 1 over 6 times 2 to the power 1 times 1 over 4 times 3 to the power 4 times 1 over 4 times 5 to the power 1 times 1 over 4, and finally 2 to the power of 3 times 1 over 2 times 5 to the power of 1 times 1 over 2. So now that we have this in this form, let's simplify them, right? So what is 2 to the power 1 times 1 over 12? That will give us 2 to the power 1 over 12 times what is 5 times, what is 1 times 1 over 2? That gives us 5 to the power 1 over 12 times what is 2 to the power 7 times 1 over 6? That gives us 2 to the power 7 over 6. This one, 1 times 1 over 6 gives us 1 over 6. So we got 5 to the power 1 over 6. Then here we got 2 to the power 1 times 1 over 4. There we get 2 to 2 over 1 over 4 times. Here we get 3. 4 times 1 over 4 gives us 1, right? Because we got 4 times 1 over 4. That is same as 4 over 4. 4 into 4 goes once. Therefore our answer is 1. So that's why we remain with 3 to the power of 1. Now we got 5 to the power 1 times 1 over 4. That is same as 5 to the power 1 over 4. Then we got 2 to the power 3 times 1 over 2. That is same as 2 to the power 3 over 2 times finally 5 to the power 1 over 2. So all the way from here we have simplified and we got our answer as this. So now what is the next step? As we know, we need to look for the same base, right? What are our same base? Our same base are 2. So let's group our same base together. Okay. So we got 2 to the power 1 over 12 times 2 to the power 7 over 6 times 2 to the power 1 over 4 times 2 to the power 3 over 2 times, let's go with 5 now, 5 to the power 1 over 12 times 5 to the power 1 over 6 times 5 to the power 1 over 4 times 5 to the power 1 over 2 times, and then finally we remain with only 3, which is 3 to the power of 1. So now that we have all our bases together, let's go and add. So if you remember, if we have same bases, we simply add the exponents, right? So we're doing the same thing here. We'll go and add the exponents. Now if you look at 1 over 12, let's just look at the exponent themselves, right? So we got 1 over 12 plus 7 over 6 plus 1 over 4 plus 3 over 2, right? We just simply took the exponent. We just want to find what is our answer after we add them, right? So that's why we just wrote them like this. So if you look at them, you can see your denominator or your lowest common denominator is 12, because every number here can go into 12. Hence the lowest common denominator is 12. 12 can go into 12 one times. 1 times the numerator is 1, plus 6 can go into 12 2 times the numerator, which is 7. Now 4 can go into 12 3 times. So 3 times 1, which is the numerator, plus 2 can go into 12 6 times. 6 times the numerator is 3. So if you simplify further, we got 1 plus 14 plus 3 plus 18 all over 12. Now after this, if we punch it into the calculator, we can get our answer as 36 all over 12. Now we know 12 can go into 36 how many times? 3 times. Hence our final answer is 3. Correct? So it means we will have 2 to the power of 3. Okay? So after seeing that calculation, we know that our answer is 3. So it means after we add all this exponents, our answer is 3. So we got 2 to the power of 3. Correct? Now we'll be moving on to the 5. Right? Let's take a look at 5. We got 1 over 12 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2. Again, you can see here our lowest common denominator is 12, right? So we got 12. How many times can 12 go into 12? 1, right? 1 times the numerator is 1. How many times 6 can go into 12? 2 times. 2 times the numerator is 1. Plus, how many times can 4 go into 12? 3 times the numerator is 1. Plus, how many times can 2 go into 12? 6 times 1 is. Therefore, let's go and simplify. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. And 6 times 1 is 6. All over 12. If we add all of them, our answer is 12. All over 12, right? So 12 over 12, that is same as 1. Hence, our answer is 1. So when we add all the exponent, we get our answer as 1. Now that we got our answer as 1 times 5 to the power of 1. And simply we remain with 3 times 3 to the power of 1. So now we need to simplify. What is 2 to the power of 3? If you remember from the exponent rules, that is same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 to the power of 1 is 5 and 3 to the power of 1 is 3. What is 2 times 2 times 2? That gives you 8. 8 times 5 times 3. What is 8 times 5? 40. And what is 40 times 3? That gives you 120. As per the questions, we needed to prove that this thing is equal to 120. Hence, therefore, we have proved that 120 is equal to 120. Therefore, left hand side is equal to right hand side.